Actually, one thing, if we when we are writing the code in the developer console, by mistake we close that. So,
Okay.
do we get any chance of retrieving it, or how it is? How to get again that code back?
Okay.
In the Lightning.
Before I answer the quick question, okay,
Mhm.
somebody has modified it, okay, and suddenly you closed. It will ask a prompt. Okay, it is going to ask you the prompt saying that you wanted to close without saving. So until unless you save, it will not close this. But in case if the developer has closed this part, okay, they can go back to the developer console back. And you will see that modified thing. In case if the developer closed this and he closed this also and completely shut down, and you are restarting the system, when you restart your system, still it will show you in the edit mode. If you do not restart your system for more than 24 hours, then only it will go away. You will be able to see this as an edit if you close this also. But do not do this mistake in the staging or in the production, because that will be problem. It's fine until unless you are in the dev environment. But if you do this kind of a mistakes in the production or staging, you will be leaving, like you will close this and you will go home, but somebody else is working on it, right? So they will think that, okay, maybe I have modified it, and they will simply say that saving. They don't know what they have modified. So if somebody else saved this, because your changes are there and you forgot to save it, some other person saved it. So that is going to be the problem in the production. It is fine until unless you are in dev, and if you close this, you can come back tomorrow, open it. That should be fine. Because this is at the Chrome, right? Your Chrome will be having a backup. Until unless your Chrome did not reset or restart or refresh, if it not happened anything on the Chrome, your changes will be always there. But in case if you go to your Chrome and you did some updates here, clear browsing data, if you do this, then you might lose it information, whatever you did last night. So that's the reason best practice is just close this part. Maybe you have opened 100 tabs here. So please try to close them so that when you are closing it, it will ask you a prompt saying that my first page has changes. Do you want to save it? If you are in a hurry, take a backup of this code and say no.
So, for example, we have a multiple pages, like my first page, or if I write like assignment. So, can we search here, or
Can you repeat that question again?
for example, actually, what I did, ma'am, I created with my first page as a first page, and
Okay.
second, what I did, I created one more page with the assignment one, and I did my assignment. Okay, so by mistake, I closed my first page. Means I was closing other browser. I'm just going to close this. So if you
Okay.
want to search that back,
You might not find it.
I couldn't find actually.
Yeah, you might not find it because this page is created yesterday, right?
Correct.
So if you are creating a page right now, like I'll create a page right now, okay? And I'll make some changes here. And I'll close it by mistake. I might not find this.
Okay.
Because there are different things which runs at the back end.
Okay.
Okay. But if the page is created a long back and you are just making a changes here, and you closed it suddenly, then you might see it.
Okay.
It's all depending on how your Chrome is behaving. Like my Chrome has some kind of a setup which will say that I can always recollect back. Like if I restart it also, it says that you wanted to open the previous pages. So I have that kind of a setup. So if you have that kind of a setup in the Google Chrome, it's better. You can always use the reverting back. Okay, any more questions? Okay, so the last class we started creating a Visualforce. We started creating a Visualforce page, right? And we started with Apex page. Visualforce page always starts with the opening of Apex page and closing of Apex page. Right? Anything we have to write it inside of this. Opening, close. In between that, we have to write the code. And then we learned Apex page block, opening of this and closing of this. Why do we use it? Page block to divide the page into blocks. Then we have learned the Apex page block section. Right? So what is this page block section? It will divide the blocks into the sections. Right? So using all these commands, we have implemented a form yesterday to view the data. Right? Let me go back. Let's open developer console. Okay, this is the page that we have created yesterday. Did everybody did the assignment and the trial head? Anybody started with trial head?
Trial here, I just created the page, that's it. And I did the resume assignment.
Okay. How about others? Okay, so it's very important to do the assignment because I can show you, I can teach you whatever is required. But unless you put your hands, unless you understand how to write this, it is not going to use. Okay, so you have to practice this as much as. Like whatever I have explained, it is better to practice after class because you will understand the pain, right? When you go through that code, then only you will understand the pain. If somebody explains about the situation, or if somebody, let's take an example. Okay, somebody is walking on the road. Okay, suddenly maybe a car came in front of him and it was in high speed. The person who is explaining that situation because he has gone through that, and whoever is listening, they will listen by eating the popcorns. Oh, that's what it happened. Okay, then what you did. So you will be chit chatting, but you will never understand what is the person has gone through. If you are in the same situation of that other person, then you will understand, oh my God, what is the pain you have gone through. So it is always, rather than listening, practice it. So practice is very important. Then only you will understand what is the each command does here and what is the each keyword doing here. What is the role of show header? What is the role of sidebar? What is the role of Apex page? Like if I do not write this Apex page, what will happen? So everything you have to do trial and error. Then only you will understand the importance of the each command here. Like I'll be day by day, I'll be teaching it, I'll be going further, but it's, you have to practice it, then only you will understand the things. Okay, so Apex page, yesterday we have learned sidebar, show header, right? So we'll continue on the same page. Few more commands we will learn today. Okay, so there is another command, another word in the Apex page which says standard controller. There is another word called standard controller. Okay, I'm not saving this page. I'll just click on a preview. Let me switch this to classic. Okay, so this is what we have implemented yesterday. Okay, on top of that, I'm going to introduce a standard controller. What is this standard controller? This standard controller is nothing but I'm importing a subject. I'm importing a subject. It can be standard object or it can be custom object. Let's say example, account. Let me take account example, right? As soon as I've written, like as soon as I created the standard controller equal to account, immediately my page color is changed here. See this. Now I'll remove this, Control X, and let me save. See this difference, see? If I add a standard controller, let's save this. See, as soon as I added the standard controller account, it's showing me in different color. Okay, maybe gray color or some color. What is that? What the standard controller is doing here? I'm importing the object within, I'm taking the controller, standard object style, I'm going to take it. So that means it is going to inherit whatever the object that I give here. For example, if I give opportunity, whatever the controller or whatever the object I'll give here, it try to it is trying to import the style of that opportunity. See here. What is this means? If I go to account, right, this is the tab style color. And if I click on opportunity, my tab style is golden yellow. So basically, whatever the object that I'll take it, like if I take contact, if I take a contact, see, it is going to inherit the style. Means as soon as I give the object name, automatically the Visualforce page is going to take the styling of that particular object. It is going to inherit the styling and the data and the API fields, everything it is going to inherit it. So standard controller, let's say account, let's take the account. Now it applied the style, that is fine. But now on the account, I have a API fields, right? Account name, last name, some API fields are there, okay? Now let's go ahead and introduce those fields inside this. So how to put? Let's go to the account. Now I wanted to take the name, standard name, phone number, all of these API fields are there, right? So these fields I wanted to insert here. Basically, this page is inherited with account. Now from account, I wanted to take the fields, account.name, I wanted to display on the page. Account.phone number, I wanted to display on the page. Account.email, I wanted to display on the page. How do I do it? How I do it? So in order to display the field, so what we use, apex colon output field. Apex colon output field. What is this output field means? What it does? This is another command in Visualforce page to display an existing field on the object. Existing field on the object in read-only mode. What is the output field that does here? Output field, the purpose of output field is, apex colon output field is to display an existing field on the object, right? To display the existing field in read-only mode. For example, right now on the account, these are the existing fields. I can take any field. I can take any field and I can put it here. So how to implement the code for that? Let's remove this. Right now we are displaying the account details. So let me change this to account details. How to implement that? Apex colon output field, right? So inside this output field, I have so many keywords here, right? Label, style, style class, title, value. But here the purpose, the one which I'm going to use is value. Value equal to any field that we are planning to show, then we have to use curly braces first. Any field that I wanted to use, that should be in the curly braces. Curly brace and then this escalation mark and account dot name. So what is this means? I'm displaying read-only field. I'm displaying from account. Name is the API field. Okay, name is the API field. I'm displaying a field from account in read-only mode. Right? So let me display few more fields here. Right. Now first one is account name. Then I have a account phone. Then let's take a fax. Right? And let's take industry. These are the API fields. Rating. Okay. These all are API fields. Let me show you. Account field, if I search those fields, here it is the rating. Right? Phone number. So these are the fields that I have taken. And industry. So those are the fields that I have taken. Now let's save this. Okay, now refresh. See here. It is displaying the account name, fax, rating, phone, industry. Fields are displaying it perfectly fine, but where is the data? Where is the data? Data is not coming here. The reason is in accounts, there are 1,000 records are there, right? 1,000 records are there. But system doesn't know which record information it should take. So what we have to do, we have to pass the ID to this page. Now this has an account name, and it has fax. Where is the fax? Yes, phone number, and it has industry, right? And it has a rating. All the information is there. So let me pass this ID to the page. How do I pass the ID to the page? Whenever you execute the Visualforce page, observe the URL. Your URL will be having your Visualforce page name. Your URL will be having a Visualforce page name. Here my Visualforce page name is my first page. See, my first page. Then question mark. So after the question mark, whatever the data is there, delete that. And in order to pass, just pass ID equal to the record ID. See, as soon as I pass the record ID, it is showing me the account name, Burlington, right? And the fax 336, rating, warm, phone number 336 222 700, industry, upper, right? So in order to pass the data, we have to pass ID equal to the 18-digit, Salesforce 18-digit or 15-digit ID here, right? Now, in case, right now it is showing in the two columns, like account, fax, rating is showing here, phone, industry is showing here. But in case if I wanted to display everything in one line, everything in one column, I do not want two columns. Here it's displaying in two columns. Account name, fax, rating in one column, phone, industry is in another column. If I wanted to bring everything into the one column, how do I do it? So in the page block section, we have something called columns, and the data type is integer. If I say columns equal to 1, then let's save it. See here, it's displaying everything in one column. Now I lost the ID because whenever the record is saved, I will be losing that. So always I have to pass the ID. See here, it is displaying in one column, account name, phone, fax, industry, rating, right? In case if I want in 3 columns, simply what I can do on the page block section, column equal to 3. Let's save it. See, it is showing in the 3 columns. Now let me pass the ID. See here, it's displaying in the 3 columns. Right? This is how we display the data in Visualforce page. Let me remove this column. Now, if we go to this particular account, we have a case and we have an opportunity. These are the related list. You might have learned in the admin course. This is the page layout. In the page layout, this part is detail section, record detail section, right? And these all are related list. Contact is the related list. Opportunity is the related list. Case is the related list, right? So in this account, I have a opportunity, cases, contact. These all are available. Now, if I wanted to display a related list here, fine, it is displaying me the account details here. That is perfectly fine. Along with the account details, I wanted to display a related object information as well, like opportunity, cases. I have it, 2 related lists related to this particular account. Burlington account has a 1 opportunity, 2 cases, right? I wanted to display these related items, opportunity, cases on the Visualforce page. On the Visualforce page, how do I display it? We have another command which is called as a apex colon related list. Apex colon related list. What it does, to display a default view. To display default view of related or relationship object data. Right? Apex colon related list. These are the interview questions. Like, what is the Apex related list? Where do you use it? How do you use the Apex colon output field? Right? So these are the some of the interview questions can come up. So related list. Related list is to display a default view of the related object. To display the default view. Whatever the view I could see here, the same will be appeared on the Visualforce page. Let me show you how it does. Let me go to the Visualforce page. Now this is the account details, right? So let me take the another one, which is say related information. Okay. So now here I'll include apex colon related list. And in related list, I have a few keywords: ID, list, page size, rendered, subject, title. Right? So what is needed for me here? List. I wanted to display the list. What list I wanted to display? Cases. Right? I wanted to display the cases. Why it is not coming? Because here it is nothing is coming because I did not pass the ID. ID equal to my 15-digit ID. See here, it displaying the account details, and this is my related details. In related details, I have two cases for this account. All those records it is displaying it. Okay, let's say that, let me include the opportunities as well. Apex colon related list. And I need a list. We have to always use the plural. Opportunities. It's not as object name, it's a plural object name. Opportunities, cases, accounts, contacts. Did anybody observe while creating the custom object? It asks, what is your plural object name? Did anybody observe it? So if I go to the objects, okay, if I click on a new object, right, it asks the label name and it also asks the plural label. Label is like an opportunity or account. Plural label is nothing but multiple, like accounts, opportunities, leads, campaigns, contacts, orders. Where do we use this plural label? On the tab. If you see on the tab name will be plural name. It's not a label name. It's always the word with S, ending with S. It's always the plural names here. Opportunities, contacts, accounts, forecasts, contacts, orders, everything with the ending with S. So these are plural label names. These are not the label names. Right? So this is how we display the plural name. So in the Visualforce page also, whenever we wanted to see the related list, give the plural label of that particular object name. So here it is a opportunities. Let's save this. So as soon as I save, right, it is going out ID equal to. See here, it is displaying the cases and opportunities side by side, right? What are the fields that it is displaying? Default layout. That is a default layout. If I go to the account, Burlington account, and you see here cases has the action, case, contact name, subject. Action, case, contact name, subject. Priority, date open, status, owner. Priority, date open, status, owner. Default view. It is going to display the default view. Okay. And what it has: action, opportunity name, stage, amount, close date. The same information will be available here. Right? In case, if I wanted to, these two are displaying in the two columns, right? In case if I wanted to divide, multiple ways we can do it. Either I can do the break. Okay. If I do the break, what will happen? I'll show you that. If I do the break, so the data will be displayed only in the column 1. Column 2 will be empty because I have given the break. So this is a waste in the page, right? This is a waste of the page. Just a second. So instead of the break, what we can do is in the block section, we can use columns equal to 1. Let's save this. You will see the difference between the break and column. You will see the difference between the break and column. See here. When I say column 1, complete page will be used. Complete page will be used. So this is the same way it is displaying, right? So here, whatever the, let me take a snipping. That same information, opportunities, right? And the cases, same data it is displaying it. The format, layout, view, styling, CSS, everything will be by default, it is taken. So you can display the default view using the related list. In case if you do not want to see some fields here, so many fields are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I do not want to see owner, status, date open. I do not want to see. Instead of that, maybe I wanted to see first name, last name. Okay. So if you have that kind of a requirement, how can you build that? Instead of taking the default view, the requirement is take the default view, but do not display these 4 fields: priority, date open, status, owner. Do not display. So how do you use that? We have another command which is called as a apex colon page block table. Apex colon page block table. What it does, it is to display a table. This is a custom table that we are going to build it. To display table in Apex page. In Apex page formatted with. Right? To display a table in Apex page. What is right now it is displaying? It is a standard table it is displaying. Case is the table. right? The table, it is displaying same as the standard format. But here I wanted to customize it because I wanted to take my own fields. There is a custom fields that I wanted to take it, or I want to display only few fields, right? So in that case, what we can do is we can simply use the Apex page table. Let's say that this is a table information, right? Now, how do I build it? Let's use the Apex page block table. Apex colon page block table, right? Whoever is done the trial head, they will understand this one, because in trial head, one of the module is to build the table. Let me show you which one it is. So yesterday I gave this, right? The second one is whatever right now I'm explaining it, they will understand whoever is did this trial head. Right, here we are using the standard controller equal to contact. What we did is standard controller equal to account, right? And here they did it the page block section. We are displaying the contact, first name, last name, and the email. These are the input fields. What we did, we used the output field. Output field is only read-only format, right? So 25 point, whoever is done this, they will understand that. Now page block table, okay? So right now we are going to implement a table, okay? Now I have to pass some information to this Apex page block table. What is the information that I need to pass? I have to pass the value, because it should understand what table should I need to build. It is going to ask, page block table is going to ask, which object table do I need to build it? Then we are going to say exclamation account. Let's say that this account has contact, right? This account has contact information is there, right? Let me create another contact. So let's say Pat Berry. Okay, let's save it. Go back to account. Now I see two contacts are there. Okay, so now I wanted to display contact information. I wanted to display contact information for this particular account. For this particular account. When I gave this standard controller equal to account, that means this complete page is going to handle the only related to account, only related to the account. This complete page is dedicated for account, because this is inherited the account style, fields, everything, right? So if I mention standard controller equal to account, means this complete page is going to for that particular account. Now, if I have to take the contact information, what I can do is account dot, then I can give contacts. Account dot contacts, because I wanted to display the contacts that are inside this particular account. Whatever the ID I pass it, in that ID, if there are any contact, I wanted to display a contact information in the custom page table, right? Now, that's the reason I am using the account dot contacts. Okay. Inside this, I have to display the contact name, contact phone, email. If I have to display the name, then what I have to do? Account.contacts.name, account.contacts.phone, account.contacts.email. For every field, I have to use these two, account.contact, account.contact. But instead of using that, what I can do is simply I can give a nickname or nickname. Like everybody human has a nickname, right? So for the page table also, I'll give some nickname instead of using the account.contacts. Like how can I declare it? Where? Simply I'll say AC. So that inside this, if I wanted to use any field related to contact, I can use AC.name, AC.phone, AC.email, AC.mobile number. Anything I can use it with the AC instead of using this long name, right? Now, inside this table always has the column and rows, right? So here also same, table will have the column and rows. So let's go ahead and use the column, apex column. What is the value that I wanted to display here? Curly braces, exclamation, AC dot, first name. AC dot, last name. AC dot, I can use the email. And the last field from the contact, let's say AC dot, mobile phone. Okay. Very important, whenever you are using the field name here, always use the API field name. Do not use the field name. There is a field label and field name. Do not use this field label because field label always has the space. Clean status has the space, whereas field name will not have the space, right? API name, these are called as a field API names. So we always have to use the field API names whenever we are trying to fetch the data from particular record, right? Now this is fine. Let's see how it is displaying the data. Control S. Fine. So here it is the table. This is the account details. This is the related information. This is the table information. Table information is coming in only the column, first column. It is not coming in the second column. So what I can do, I can simply add the column equal to 1. Let's save it. Clear? Is everybody clear so far whatever we have used it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is what we have used it, account output field, sorry, apex colon output field, right? And this is apex colon related list. And this is apex colon page block table. Inside that, this is one column. In order to show this column, apex colon column. This is another column. This is another column. This is another column. Right? The data, whatever we have entered in the contact, it is displaying all the contact information. So that's the same thing in the trial head also. Like trial head. So what they are saying is in trial head, what we are doing it, add a standard controller to the page. So we have to add a standard controller, which is called as a contact. Once I add the contact information, then we are building the form, right? We'll come to that later. Apex page block. We have already learned this. Apex page block title equal to new contact. Inside the block, I have a block section. So inside this block section, I have an input field. There is a difference between the output field and input field, right? This output field is to just display a data in read-only mode. But when I give the apex colon, input field is nothing but it is going to allow user to edit it. This is to allow user to edit the data. Fine, let me take one example here. Apex colon input field. Let's say value